Have you ever considered that the cosmological constant of the contrast inverted triangle to the upper hemisphere of 17 point A with the inverse square root of the diagonal quantum is equal to the sum total of pi r square, which of course means that there's no time within time due to the reflective content of the conscious being? If you have absolutely no idea what I just said, that's okay. You don't need to, because nothing will make sense and everything will make sense after you have experienced what I just experienced. But before we get into that, I want to first make several delays before I get to the point that I'm going to get to, because I have to hype you up about the truth with capital T, of course. Actually, the whole word needs to be capitalized. All of it needs to be. It's so true. It is mega, mega true. It is the most true thing that you've ever encountered ever. It's so true that it's beyond true. It is extraordinary. It is mind blowing in all the worst ways possible. It is woo. It is a woo train. It is a woo train that's going woo woo right off the cliff and exploding into more woo, and none of it makes sense. And it's I can't logic it. There is no logic. Logic has died. This is a result of the death of logic. This video that I'm gonna get to, don't worry, we're gonna get there eventually. I have to hype it up because that's a thing that we do. Is we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it, but first I have to say this. But first I have to say this. But first I'm not gonna get to the point yet. You're gonna have to fast forward to get to the point. But then when you get to the point, it's amazing. It's amazing. The 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 thing that it all reveals is so amazing. Wonder what this would taste like. No. Okay. Um. All right. So, sorry, I didn't even introduce myself. I don't know if I feel like it. No. I got nothing. I can't. This video ruined me. All right. Time to put on this. Time to play the video again and watch it. So it's called Proofs for God's Existence Are Not What You Think by this guy called MorgueOfficial. He just, his hair's white. It's pure white. Eyebrows are white. I don't know if he dyed it or not. I mean, yeah. I'm at the point where in the video where he finally reveals the thing, and I want to spoil it. Yeah, I'm gonna spoil his whole stick. I'm gonna play the thing that he builds up to first, and then we're gonna go back and get to him building it up. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Oh yeah, because it will work. It will work. I'm pretty sure if we do it this way, it will work. Okay, so all right, here we go. Here we go. So this is all what it's been building up to. Here we go.
6 days and had a son named Jesus who died for your sins. Just because there's a first cause and that reality exhibits order and something must have necessary existence in no way proves the existence of a specific entity or its traits, like being all loving, all knowing, or involved in our personal lives. But humans are constantly projecting human qualities onto non-human things. So now that we know something about these three arguments, let's discover the truth. What are they actually revealing? Well,
Yes. So yeah, let's discover the truth. What are they actually revealing? Oh no, the thing that you thought that they were talking about, that's not what they were talking about. Now, how do I know any of this? I just do. Yeah. Yeah, sure, the conclusion that they all reach is wrong, but my conclusion is right. based on absolutely nothing.
Well, what if they prove nothing? I mean, literally nothing. What I mean is, what if the true ground of all existence is nothingness? Not in the sense of empty void, but in the mathematical concept of zero. This isn't an empty zero, but full, containing all mathematical values that balance to zero. Think of it like this. Don't think of zero as being empty, but as a state of perfect balance. In mathematical terms, zero can be seen as containing all numbers. Why? Well, think about it. If you add +1 and -1, they balance out to 0. The same goes for +2 and -2, +100 and -100, and on and on. All these pairs of numbers exist within the concept of zero because they sum up to nothing. They don't destroy each other. It's a perfect balance.
What are you, Thanos? This reminds me of that idiot that was going around saying that 1 × 1 was 2. And yeah, idiot. This guy's an idiot. This guy talking right now, he's an idiot. He's a moron. He's a nitwit. He has zero idea what the fuck zero is. It's not, it doesn't contain anything. It's zero. No, it doesn't contain all numbers. It's not anything. It's a representation of nothing, which is not a thing. And no, I can do math. 1 + -1 is 0. 1 - -1 is 0. It's 0. 0. 0 it's nothing. It's not a thing. It's not magical. Oh my god, this is stupid. This is stupid. It's so stupid. But it's a perfect balance, as all things should be.
It's a dynamic equilibrium where everything cancels out perfectly. So this kind of zero isn't an absence of existence. Instead, it's a state that contains all possibilities, all.
Okay, so this version of zero isn't actually zero. It's actually infinity. Now, yeah, we already have the word infinity, but I'm going to pretend that zero is that now and pretend that that's profound. Because how else am I gonna say what these arguments really mean without pretending that it's profound? And if you don't think about it, it makes sense, I guess. If you're stupid and you want to believe garbage, then this woo bullshit makes sense to you. Oh yeah, zero. Yes, it contains everything. Yeah. Oh, this version of zero. It's not actually zero, like we know. It's actually a different sort of zero. Oh, okay. You mean it's not zero? Okay. So the thing that you said it was is actually not. That's called equivocation, you moronic idiot, woo peddler, pseudo-science, pseudo whatever the hell you are. Oh my word. There's no argument here. There's no argument. None. Logic is repelled away from this person. The science is like just like we gave up on this guy. They tried. They looked at him. Science actually, they're gonna be studying this man's brain for centuries to come because they're gonna want to know how it went so wrong. Oh my god. What? No, zero isn't no.
Values, but in such a balanced way that they all add up to 0. It's like having all potential positive and negative energies in the universe, but arranged in a way.
Positive and negative energies. Yeah, because the positive and they add up to 0. Oh my God, 0 everywhere. 0 here, 0 there. Here a 0, there a 0. You get nothing, and you get nothing, which means you get everything. I'm the Oh my God.
That they neutralize each other completely. In other words, this is not a physical reality, but a mathematical reality that perfectly balances to zero.
No, it's not a mathematical anything. No, no, no. Why? What?
Let me explain. Remember the cosmological argument? It talks.
Yeah, I think I do. I'm not sure. Let's see. It starts with zero begins to exist and must have a cause. Zero is cause, therefore the cause is zero. Is that it? Is that it? I think that's what the argument is now, right? Was that it?
Talks about the need for a cause for the.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's what it did. Right. Yeah. Yeah. The cosmological argument has multiple logical fallacies. So there isn't anything that you can get from it other than that you should be skeptical of it. But yeah, it talks about a cause.
The universe. Well, traditionally, this cause is seen as God. But what if the cause of the universe is actually zero? Nothing.
The cause of the universe is zero.
Nothingness, a state of perfect mathematical balance. Think about this. Everything that begins to exist needs a cause. Well, the universe began to exist, so it needs a cause. But what about nothingness? Nothing. In terms of the concept of zero, doesn't need anything external to exist. Mathematical truths are timeless and eternal. They have always existed and will always exist. Nothingness in this mathematical sense is eternal. But here's the fascinating part. Mathematics can be rearranged to give rise to the universe. Imagine it like a perfect computer code that gives rise to a complex video game world. See, before the universe began, there was a state of nothingness, not an empty void, but a zero state where all potential positive and negative values balanced perfectly. The Big Bang was a fluctuation in this balanced zero state, where mathematical values arranged in a specific pattern that led to the creation of the universe.
You have no idea what the fuck you're saying. What? Mathematical patterns arranged to make. Okay, you have zero. Okay, you have zero, and there's nothing. Okay, zero plus zero is what? What's zero plus zero? What's zero times zero? What's zero? Well, you can't do zero divided by zero, can you? Uh, there isn't. There is. It's always zero. So you can't get anything, any number from zero. And a state of nothingness contains nothing, no potentiality, no energy, no. If it had stuff, then it's not nothing, and it definitely isn't zero, because zero is a number and that we've assigned to it. And then in your framework, it's not even nothing, it's actually everything. It's actually all the things that could be are there. So it's not zero, it's actually all things. Everything you've said is a complete and total, well, it's not even the opposite. It's nothing. It's just, how, why? Why? How? How is this? How many views? 19K views? Why? Why? What are you talking about? Mathematical values cannot arrange math doesn't do stuff like that. Math doesn't make things happen. That's not how math.
Okay, but if that's true, well, who did the arranging? Well, this brings us to the teleological argument, which says that the complexity of the universe points towards a designer. But think about this. The order and complexity we see in the world are the natural results of a mathematical reality.
So math made it. Math is God, which means Mercury is God, because Mercury is the goddess or god of wisdom. Goddess in one version, God in a different version. I'm going to go with goddess because I want Mercury to be a girl for personal reasons of Sailor Mercury being my favorite senshi from Sailor Moon. And I've shared that personal reason now. So it's not personal anymore. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, whatever, All right, yeah, keep going. All right, keep talking.
Of course, a mathematical reality is going to exhibit structure. The order and patterns we observe, from the spiral of galaxies to the structure of atoms, are manifest.
And the Fibonacci sequence. Don't forget about the Fibonacci sequence. And pi. Don't forget about pi.
Manifestations of this underlying mathematical order. This doesn't need a conscious designer, but it's instead the inevitable outcome of a balanced mathematical framework that self-organizes everything perfectly according to its internal unfolding.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Now, earlier in this video, he says that he thought he's been spending years to uncover reality and understand it. I think that you did do that, and you didn't succeed. So my brain hurts. I don't want to keep watching this video. I don't. I'm done. No, I can't. I don't know. It was it funny? I guess. Is it coherent? No, not even a little. There's nothing to it. Now, I've made videos where I've talked about zero, and I've made videos where I've talked about nothing. And I interviewed one guy that thought God was zero. So that guy and this guy would get along great, I guess. Although he said that God wasn't actually zero, but zero was like a way to think about God. I don't know. It didn't make sense at the time. It all makes me think of when I was a kid. And I had an idea. I liked the number zero. I don't know. Maybe there's just something fascinating about this weird thing that isn't really a number, but isn't. I don't know. So you have positive numbers and negative numbers. And getting introduced to those as a kid, you're just like, what? Negative? Like, because you're taught, or at least I was, like numbers were things, like apple, one apple, two apple. Okay, he's got however many apples, blah, blah, blah. So you're like, how can you have a minus apple? That doesn't make sense. So they changed it to like money so that you could owe somebody money. I guess you could owe somebody apples, right? So it's like you are in debt, so you have minus money. You have minus apples. Okay. But it's just like an amazing thing. And then like zero, you come to learn, isn't positive or negative. And you're like, oh, okay. And you're like, well, but, one is odd, two is even, right? So zero is even because 10 is even, right? No, zero is not even. Is it odd? Nope. It's neither even nor odd, nor positive, nor negative. It's none of those things. Wow. Mind-boggling. And I just thought that was, I don't know. That just seemed amazing and insane and crazy. So I came up with my own crazy ideas about zero as well when I was a kid. But then I actually listened to people that know about mathematics and go, yeah, that everything I came up with is complete, utter nonsense. Should I share it with you? I mean, why not? I guess this guy can talk about woo. I might as well talk about my woo, right? But then again, if I shared with you my version of zero, it might open up a space-time rift that would end this stream or something. But that's ridiculous. All right, let me go ahead, open MS Paint. All right, okay, got my MS Paint going. All right, so we'll just start with zero. Okay, we'll start with zero. Okay, now I like to put a slash through zero because that's the way that zero is portrayed on MS DOS, and so this is zero that is just zero, right? Okay, that's just the familiar zero, right? But right, remember I said that you've got positive and like negative stuff, right? And then you have odd and you have even, right? Well, okay, but it's not positive or negative, so it's neither of those. And it's not odd or even, so it's neither of those. So what you do is you go, oh, okay, so what you need is not just zero, you need zero and because zero is neither, right? And well, maybe it goes over here. No, it goes over here. I like it over. Yeah, well, I mean, where do you put the positive, anyways? All right. So then, but then there's another zero. If you're gonna have a neither zero, well, then you gotta have a zero that's positive, right? And you have to have a zero that's negative, right? And then why not have a zero that's both? It's both odd and even, and then have a zero that's positive and negative. And you could have a positive, negative, both, and you could have a positive, negative, neither, and you could have a this kind of zero and that kind of zero, and none of it fucking makes any goddamn sense because it's all complete nonsense. And when you grow up, you realize that the things that you invented when you were a kid are kind of nonsense. They were fun at the time, interesting to tweak with and mess with and fiddle around with. And I had this whole thing of like the number zeros, like there was 5 zeros, and they all made this circle, and then like you could go from positive 1, and if you went high enough, you would get back to negative 1, and it would hit back to 0, and they all connected, and it was great. But it's all complete nonsense. And so is everything that this guy said. So what have we learned today? Nothing. I guess we didn't learn anything about nothing. And we also learned, I don't know, nothing. I don't know. Nothing. No, I'm done. I can't. And somebody's like, oh, wait, Tinker Birdman, I want to know more about zero, that your version of zero. No, you don't. You don't want to know more about my zero. Okay, fine. All right, fine. I'll draw the circle thing of it. I'll explain how it works. But again, pretty sure that if I do that, it will just like end the stream magically.